The other thing about the transportation corridors is that they do attract business and industry. The economic development follows these corridors. That's been proven everywhere, whether you're talking about Dallas-Fort Worth and their DART, whether you're talking about the rail runner in New Mexico, St. Louis, all these various cities that have instituted passenger rail service have found that the economy booms and their economic development follows these transportation corridors. So I think it would be a great asset for the state of Oklahoma.
My name is Ann Simon, and I am the Economic Development Planner for the Mid-Region Council of Governments. And one of the things that I do is help to sort of keep track of the economy in the region. I look at what clusters are doing well, where we've had distresses, and I help to vet various projects for potential investment by the U.S. Department of Commerce, EDA, Economic Development Administration. And the possibilities are really endless for small communities when you have a rail stop. We want to build on what does that rail stop mean for the community. Not only do the manufacturers who want to come and locate near rail, not only do they have a pool of job candidates, employees within the vicinity of the manufacturing facility, but now they can draw from the entire pool of the job pool in the Albuquerque metro area. Our best example of manufacturing building on this cluster notion is when a cabinet manufacturer came to Los Lunas in New Mexico. They decided to locate there versus Albuquerque because it was right on a rail runner stop, and that rail stop right at Los Lunas, right within just a mile of where the manufacturing facility is now located, enabled that company to do an immediate ramp up. They have 700 employees. That was 700 new jobs, both skilled and unskilled labor. They have a whole training center. It was a very big coup for the Los Lunas, the small bedroom community outside of Albuquerque. It was a very big coup for them to land this company. And they landed it not only because of all of the hospitality and many different factors went into their decision, but I think it's safe to say a primary reason for them locating in Los Lunas was because of the rail runner.
One of the advantages of using the Union Station as opposed to the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Station is the fact that Union Station is located at ground level, at grade if you will. Whereas the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Station is elevated, the tracks are elevated, so you don't have access for people with wheelchairs and other disabilities. Additionally, you don't have room for an expansion because there's no room for additional tracks. Another aspect of rail transportation would be to extend what we presently have, the Heartland Flyer, now only runs from Oklahoma City to Fort Worth and back. That needs to be extended north to go to Newton, Kansas, so that it would make the Heartland Flyer then a true transportation train. If we could go all the way to Newton, Kansas, then that would connect us to the east and west coast, St. Louis to Kansas City or Chicago, or any place we would want to go. So the state of Oklahoma already owns about 900 miles of rail track, including a rail line that runs from Oklahoma City to Tulsa. It wouldn't take very much to institute a passenger rail train to run from Oklahoma City to Tulsa, and with the addition of the population of Tulsa being able to come to Oklahoma City or vice versa, would greatly enhance, I think, both cities. We're going to spend $108 million to widen I-35 from exit 113 down to the Canadian River Bridge south of Norman. I remember when this widening project got started, and it was about 25 years ago. And in 25 years, we've made it about 20 miles, or maybe 25 at the most. But that project started at the I-35-40 exchange there in Oklahoma City, and we still haven't even made it down to the River Bridge south of Norman. So that's tremendously slow. A former Transportation Secretary, Neil McCaleb, told me and others years ago, he said, you know, we can't pour concrete fast enough. We can't keep up. So even with the expansion of our interstate system and the continual widening of it, we literally can't pour the concrete fast enough to add lanes, even if you don't think about the scar on the landscape when you keep making the highways wider and wider. We simply can't keep up. We need to take another point of view as far as transportation goes, and I think that the rail system is something that we're overlooking. I think we would be far better off if we put our time and efforts into passenger rail service, because I think it would pay great dividends for the state. I think it would be much more forward thinking. I think it would be more efficient. It would attract business and industry. It would help the constituents here in the state and greatly relieve the stress and strain on the interstate highways. Another aspect of passenger rail service would be the fact that since Oklahoma has about 900 miles of rail, and if we purchase this extension from Shawnee down to McAllister, that would help the state consolidate all the rail that would connect all the military installations within the whole state. You have the McAllister ammunition factory down there that would be connected then to Oklahoma City. That track comes right past Tinker Field. As I said, it goes on down to Lawton and Altus and connects those two military bases. The state also owns a track that comes from near Enid, home of Vance Air Force Base, and comes down to about Edmond, so it wouldn't take much more to connect that rail line to Oklahoma City so that you would have all the military installations in Oklahoma connected by rail. The reason that would be important is that in the future, if gasoline ever gets so high or becomes in short supply, the people that work at these installations need to be able to get to and from work. Passenger rail service would be extremely important there. Another reason that should be pointed out is that Tinker Field's chief competitor, Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake City, has a state-of-the-art passenger rail service so that their people could get to work in the event of a gasoline shortage or any fuel supply shortage. That could be a major factor in the next round of the base closings as those committees go around and study the various bases. We certainly need to do everything we can to protect Tinker Field, because if the state of Oklahoma ever lost Tinker Field, I think it would simply shut the state down. It would be devastating.